Hello everybody, Storm here. Welcome back to Factorio. In the last episode, we're working on fitting out our new military vehicles, the gunship and the Spidertron, which we're getting there. We need to make some shield generators, which these don't work, which we made a bunch of those. Those don't actually work. That doesn't work. It's kind of annoying, but what we actually need are these shield generators, which require certain types of modules. And so we're working on that, and working on kind of getting those modules into the logistics system so that as they get manufactured, they can be delivered to me. And we are having an issue with the gems, which you're going to have to take a look at that. I don't know why. We're having issues with the gems. Because we're having issues with this. We have to figure out why we're having issues with this. I see. Because we're having issues with our meat. Okay. Let's take a look at that. See what options we have. But one thing that I noticed while we were looking into that was that the biter nests are actually expanding. Finally, after all of this time, the biter nests are finally actually expanding. And so that's good news, because that's one thing that I've been wanting to have this entire time, is the expanding biter nests to justify the reason why we have defensive perimeters and military vehicles this entire time. So that's great. And so I went ahead and started up the upgrade of our laser turrets to Mark V laser turrets, installed the laser perimeter defenses to augment where we still had basic projectile and flamethrower defenses. So over here, for example. And now, since those are now built, I have scheduled in upgrades of the existing laser defense perimeters to the new Mark Vs, and that is currently being worked on slowly. But eventually, that will get replaced. So that's good. We'll get there. And I mean, how many of them are in here? There's 2.4 thousand of them in there. So I could just do this, and it would work. Well, I mean, it's just still got to run through the production process, so it'll be fine. It'll get there. We have 520 of them to install. Alright, so let's go take a look at what we might be able to do about this issue with the modules. And the fact that our puffer farm does not seem to be running as effectively as it could. Okay, so the big issue is meat. And we have some here. But the big issue is that the meat production that is occurring here isn't really working. Okay. Okay, first things first. Let's get all the belts up to full strength. All right, I would like to bump these up to our highest modules. Because this fish production is one of the primary sources of our meat. So this is also going to produce a lot more polluted artificial fish water. Which is, in theory, a good thing because we need it. Alright, so we'll accelerate those. Alien spores. Yep. We're making that as much as we possibly can. Let's go ahead and bump this up to maximum speed. Alright, let's get you guys up to the new assembly machines. Alright. Ah, yes. This center section also needs to be upgraded. Now the nutrient pulp production. No, the nutrient pulp is actually coming in from an external source. Okay. Even still, it's running slow and not producing a ton of excess. Alright, so we still need a better way of generating meat. Alright, is there anything else that we could end up throwing in here? I mean, we have tons of blazing puffers. Let's try it. We want an output priority going there. Oh, that's a big old burst. I do have more of those on the way. In fact, there they are. Yep. The usual solution to the problem is just make everything run faster. Just make it run faster. Can we not process the blazing puffers? Ooh, okay, hold on. Let's see. Yeah, we should be able to process the blazing puffers. There isn't a recipe for them. So why are you not processing blazing puffers? Unless there is, no. Because otherwise I would be able to change the recipe. Okay, a butchery. It tastes like chicken. Yeah, I would have thought we could just throw anything in there. I'm silly. Those are eggs. Those aren't puffers. Yep. Those are eggs, not puffers. Oh my goodness. Okay. Alright. Okay. Okay, so all of our blazing puffers are being used. Alright. Though, I in theory could just go ahead and hatch them. Right. So I could do something like this. And what I could do is then run something like that. Oh, okay. We then have to handle the shells. Okay, we're gonna have to handle the shells. You're gonna filter the shells and dispose of them. In this case. Okay. And I could route them back into wherever it is that we're actually using the shells. Over here. It's alright though. And then you need to get updated. Okay, so that should hopefully yield a much more consistent output of meat. Good. So we should start to see more meat running down here and more meat running into here. And then more meat running down here. And the same eventually down here. Okay. I think that might be the best that we can do at the moment. Yeah, because we need deliveries. Whatever we can bring up there. Alright. Because nothing was getting down here before. And so now at least something is getting down here. Alright. Well, we'll see how it goes. Alright, we're down to 360 upgraded laser turrets required. Alright, and I think we need to begin planning the next facility. Because now that we actually have expanding hostiles to deal with, there is something else that I want to work on. That I never really saw the point because, well, there really wasn't anything to use it on. Where in the world am I? And that is, I want to get some artillery production going. Now, this is for, you know, bullets, missiles, tank shells, that sort of stuff. So this is in theory useful. Okay. Yeah, we still have a lot of oil. Alright, good. But I think that if I want to do this, I want to do it as a new facility. Specifically dedicated to building artillery cannons. Right? So we would need... where are they? There. Artillery turret Mark IIIs. I guess is our best artillery turrets. And then we would need artillery shells. Topaz laser rifle batteries. No, not laser rifle batteries. Atomic artillery shells. Explosive artillery shells. Alien explosive napalm. Distractor, or just your standard run-of-the-mill artillery shells. See, they make the atomic artillery shells. Ooh, spicy. Very spicy. Let's think about it. Let's see. Air effect size 11. 1,000 damage plus 2.2 thousand explosion. These are basically the same, but it splits between physical and explosion. Air effect size is only 4. This has a much wider area of effect. But needs alien explosive fluid. Which, to make alien explosive fluid, we need alien artifact explosive. I think we just go with standard artillery for now. Alright, so... And there are no better artillery shell range improvements. Okay. Artillery shell shooting speed. Okay. So, what we would want to do is we want to look into a production line for the actual artillery turrets. 1 per second. 60 per second, 60 per second. I don't think we would need that many of them. 1 every 10 seconds, I think, would be more than enough. No. We need this one. Oh. Yeah, we have 3 turret Mark 1s. Concrete. We are producing that, I believe. Okay, so we would need to bring in Electronic processing board. Nitinol and tungsten carbide, I think, would be brought in directly because I don't think we're using sheet coils for those. No, they're just straight up plates. Same for tungsten carbide. And the thing is, it's becoming more and more a thought that we might need, well, for one thing, more tungsten carbide. And two, a better way of bringing that in other than via logistics bots. Well, don't think about that. Alright, we would need nitinol gear wheels. We would need titanium gear wheels. Iron gear wheels. We need some silicon nitride, which we do have the ability to bring in by train. So we would need to bring in sheet coils, and sheet coils. Okay, that's fairly doable. And then we would need a way of making just your standard run-of-the-mill artillery shells. High explosive cannon. No, this is explosive cannon shell. We need plastic. We would need more steel. Right, and then we would need some way of making explosives. Toluene liquid, sulfuric acid, nitric acid. That's the one way that can be made. Coal, glycerol liquid, sulfuric and nitric. The toluene requires like natural gas. Methane, ethane, and butane. The other method would be what? This method? And the question would be glycerol. Epichlorohydrin gas. Or we could take nutrient pulp and just turn it into fuel oil and glycerol. And the fuel oil we could potentially do some stuff with. $875 per second nutrient pulp. That's a lot. We make it out of beans. Zombie Calyptus Farms. 53. 27 Swamp Environment Farms. Well, it's some thinking. It's some thinking we gotta do. But whether we want to go with a natural gas process or build a farm to do it. And I want to kind of build it somewhere close to the edge of our currently held or enclosed territory. Because I want to push the pollution out beyond the walls, specifically. 2.3 million gas. Let's see if we can get that finished. The thing is, do we have a really nice natural gas deposit? 1.5 million. 2.3 million. 924,000. Thing is, like, I really haven't been paying much attention to natural gas because, you know, like 135 million just oil. Because it tends to run out a lot. And the deposits are not really that good. Like right now, this 2.3 million deposit is one of the best we have. But it's like got stuff directly on top of it. There's 1.5 million there. Is there a really good deposit somewhere beyond our current walls? $1.0 million. Maybe somewhere where I could build a boat? I might have to go scouting. But we'll go ahead and end the episode here. And I'll think about that. I definitely do want to build some artillery. And see how that goes. 1.4 million. 2.9 million. 4.8 million. That's a nice little spot right there. Okay. All right. We'll see what we can do. Alright, but for now we'll go ahead and stop here. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.